nature does not need saving. It always finds ways. This planet is not dying. Our belief systems about the planet is dying. Remember that there is a shift in consciousness. What has happened, and we opened this second half of, like, it was between 1850 and 1870, we started this process where we gradually opened a parallel reality on this planet. This parallel reality has different laws of nature, a different consciousness. And gradually more and more people will incarnate into it. People who incarnate into that level on this planet experience life differently from the ones living in the original level. It's more open. It's easier to experience spiritual principles, and nature responds more directly. Mirroring is something that one can see. It's very concrete. And a lot of the spiritual processes are more like physically available. The ones incarnating are of a higher consciousness. And the point of this is also that by establishing this new level, people incarnating into that level are not limited by the history on the planet. Right now, the two realities exist as parallel realities. And I will be talking more about this in the years to come. You can recognize belonging to this new paradigm on the planet with a heightened sense of everything. More sensitive, you pick things up. It's normal to be able to sense other people. You sense the world around you in a different way. You're not limited to your body. You pick up on a lot more information. You have stronger intuition. Your spiritual link is stronger, and it means that you have outgrown religion. You see right through it. You don't need it. There are a lot of spiritual principles that people in the old paradigm struggle with. They need to learn, they need to process. You were born understanding this. It's a different level. And it's part of shifting gears on this planet. Now, it was opened then a while ago, and now it has started to manifest for real. Now we have, millions of people belonging to that paradigm, and they are channeling in and bringing out new technology, new wisdom, new ways of seeing things. It's about finding solutions. It's not about saving anything, because life doesn't need saving. It's about finding the next step. It's aligning yourself with healing, with love, and growth. In the old paradigm, people just love the idea. You've had this, all religions talk about the end of times, and because it's part of controlling people. It's part of trying to make people submit to a belief system, making them feel insignificant, making them feel that they can't, they have to comply with some rules, making you feel bad about yourself. Works when it comes to belief systems wanting to enslave you. The future of this world has never looked brighter. There has never been higher consciousness on this planet than right now. There has never been more people spiritually awake on this planet than right now. People have never been more aware of healing and love than right now. When you are in this new paradigm, you will feel that a lot of what's happening in the world is not relevant to you. You can see a lot of the problems and lives that people are living, and you're looking at them like you're on the outside looking in. It's like, what is this? You know, you can see what they're doing, and it's not for me. The issues you're working with are a little bit more complex because they belong to a higher level of consciousness. I often say that, kids today, they have skipped a generation. This is also part of it. More and more kids are being born into the new paradigm. A lot of kids are still born into the old one. We have both. When you're in the old paradigm, you're not able to experience or detect or understand that there are two. When you are in this paradigm, you will recognize that there are indeed two parallel worlds. A lot of the conflicts, a lot of the karma being worked out right now is not relevant to the new paradigm. It's all about raising consciousness. When we raise consciousness on the planet, people will see other solutions. Not only solutions, but it will be natural to live differently. It will be natural to behave differently. Over the next few hundred years, consciousness will become domineering over the ape. The evolution is therefore now not happening the way it normally does. It's basically establishing a new level that gradually takes over. And the old ways will die, and with it, the old belief systems. It's really like skipping several generations. And a lot of people today, they understand more about life, more about spiritual principles, without being interested in spirituality, than religions. Because you don't need organized belief systems to communicate with life. In fact, you need to get rid of them to be able to communicate with life. So yes, the future is extremely bright. And you will see over this whole century. I've said many times that this century is yet the most exciting one in human history. It changes everything. All the great discoveries will be made in this century. This is the game changer. So everything humans have experienced up till now is nothing. It's all starting now because the new paradigm is starting to manifest. Again, grow out of the old ways of thinking that anyone needs saving. Life is. It changes form, it changes manifestation, but it always moves, always lives, always becomes more abundant. Let go of the old paradigm, the old way of thinking. A lot of you will be aware when I address this that you were born in this paradigm. And a lot of you were not, but you're, transitioning. When this new paradigm becomes the major paradigm on this planet, kind of, the shift has been made. I'm here mostly to assist the new paradigm. There are plenty of teachers, plenty of whatever for the old paradigm. Working with spirituality in this paradigm requires that we let go of traditions. It's not relevant. And for many of you, you have exhausted whatever you can learn from religions and traditions. Acknowledge where you are in your evolution and embrace the now. The solutions are not to be found in our history. It will be channeled. For people to let go of something when they're still invested in it is that they need to understand or see clearly that it's not working. And this is part of how we experience the planet, and more people are waking up to the fact that we're not treating this planet very well. We're not treating each other very well. We're not treating ourselves very well. It's the same thing. How we treat the planet is just an externalization of our own lack of healing, our own lack of love. And more people are starting to understand. So what seems to be the planet dying is simply a mirror showing that the old belief systems, the old ways will have to go. But in these times, of course, when the mirror effect has been amplified, there will be more conflicts because, again, just like dogs, recognizing that there is a dog in the mirror will start barking and attacking until at some point he realizes that it's himself. And now we see more and more conflicts all over the world as a part of raising the consciousness. And it doesn't seem like it's raising the consciousness, but it is. Placing someone in front of the mirror enables them to understand themselves. But first they have to realize that it's a mirror. And collectively, we don't. Yet. The planet will go through this phase and gradually grow into more intelligence and a higher level of consciousness. It's never been more exciting to exist on this planet than right now. And it's certainly not dying. It's becoming more alive. Humans are starting to wake up. And that's new. Consciousness was introduced to humans about 50,000 years ago. And since then, it's been kind of growing on them. And now, the shift has started. You're slowly starting to hatch. You know? One tiny little hole in the ego at the time, you know. And it's necessary. And it's really, really fun. So take part in the growth, the love, the healing on this planet. It's wonderful. And there's so much going on. But again, you can't understand this from reading the news. There's a whole different world out there with a lot of people dedicating themselves and their lives to bringing the planet forward. They're everywhere. And it's beautiful and it's fun. And as a result, humans will find better ways of doing everything. So do not be afraid. We didn't develop humans to this point to just see you destroy yourselves. This is the start of the journey. It's not the end.